At 88 years old, Baaer Jr. finally breaks his silence, and what he reveals reshapes the legacy of one of television's most beloved sitcoms. For generations of viewers, Baaer Jr. was frozen in time as Jethro Bodine. The loud laugh, the exaggerated swagger, the lovable innocence that made the Beverly Hillbillies a cultural phenomenon. But long after the laughter faded, Baer carried a far more complicated story, one filled with ambition, reinvention, regret, and words left unspoken for decades. Born on December 4, 1937 in Oakland, California, Maximilian Adalbert Baer Jr. entered the world with a famous name already etched into American history. His father, Max Baer Sr., wasn't just a heavyweight boxing champion. He was a larger-than-life figure whose fame, controversy, and charisma cast a long shadow over the family. Growing up under that shadow shaped Baer Jr. in profound ways. From an early age, he understood both the privileges and pressures of public attention. Confidence came naturally, but so did an awareness that expectations could be crushing. Athletic, handsome, and naturally charismatic, Baer Jr. seemed destined for success. At Santa Clara University, he studied philosophy while excelling in sports like golf and boxing. Though he never pursued athletics professionally, the discipline and competitiveness he learned there would later define his approach to Hollywood. The entertainment industry of the late 1950s was hungry for fresh faces, and Baer Jr. fit perfectly into that moment. His early career was built on steady television work. Appearances in shows like 77 Sunset Strip, Hawaiian Eye, and Cheyenne. These roles didn't make him a star, but they established his screen presence and proved he belonged. Then in 1962, everything changed. Baer Jr. was cast as Jethro Bodine on the Beverly Hillbillies, a broad comedy about a rural family suddenly catapulted into unimaginable wealth. What could have been a simple caricature became something far more memorable. Baer's physical comedy, impeccable timing, and full commitment transformed Jethro into one of television's most iconic characters. The show wasn't just successful, it was dominant. At its peak, the Beverly Hillbillies was the #1 television program in America, drawing tens of millions of viewers each week. For 9 seasons, Jethro Bodine lived in America's living rooms, becoming a symbol of a simpler, funnier era of television. But immortality has a price. As the show's popularity soared, Baer Jr. found himself increasingly trapped. Casting directors no longer saw the actor. They saw only Jethro. Serious roles vanished. Opportunities narrowed. When the show ended in 1971, Baer faced the brutal reality that escaping an iconic role could be harder than earning it. Rather than surrender to bitterness, Baer chose reinvention. Behind the camera, he discovered a new sense of control. In the 1970s, he founded his own production company and began creating low-budget films that defied Hollywood expectations. Macon County Line shocked the industry by becoming a massive box office success, earning millions on a modest budget and proving Baer's instincts were sharp. His creative ambitions grew bolder. In The McCulloughs and later Ode to Billie Joe, Baer stepped fully into his power as a storyteller. Ode to Billie Joe, in particular, struck a deep emotional chord with audiences, becoming a commercial hit and cementing his credibility as more than a former sitcom star. For a moment, it seemed he had truly broken free. Yet life had more chapters waiting, some triumphant, others devastating. As his filmmaking career slowed, Baer turned to business, investing in real estate and the casino industry. Fueled by nostalgia and vision, he imagined transforming the Beverly Hillbillies into a living brand. Themed restaurants, hotels, and casinos built around the world that had made him famous. Legal battles followed, rights disputes, lawsuits, years spent defending what he believed he had earned. Then in 2008, tragedy struck in a way no success could soften. His longtime partner, 30-year-old penthouse model Sheree Rhodes, was found dead in his Lake Tahoe home in an apparent suicide. The age difference intensified media scrutiny. A brief suicide note fueled speculation. Private grief became public spectacle once again. Amid the noise, Baer retreated further from the spotlight. Yet some bonds never faded. His friendship with Buddy Ebsen, the patriarch of the Beverly Hillbillies, endured for decades. In Ebsen's final days in 2003, Baer visited him at the hospital alongside Donna Douglas. It was a quiet goodbye. No cameras, no headlines. Just loyalty, gratitude, and shared history. But one relationship remained unresolved. Nancy Kulp. On screen, they were inseparable. Jethro Bodine and Miss Jane Hathaway. Comedy perfection. Off-screen, silence grew. Nancy was intellectual, disciplined, and deeply serious about her craft. Baer was instinctive, physical, playful. Their differences created distance, and over time, misunderstandings hardened into quiet resentment. Years later, Kulp would speak publicly about feeling dismissed and undervalued. Baer said nothing, until now. At 88 years old, stripped of ego and defensive pride, Baer finally reflects with clarity. "I didn't understand how my silence affected her," he admits. "She deserved more respect than I gave." He acknowledges the imbalance, the way success favored him, the way the show's legacy weighed differently on each of them, and the phone calls he never made. "If I could say anything to her now," Baer reflects, "I would say thank you. She helped create something that still brings joy to millions." At this stage of life, Baer understands a truth many learn too late. Legacies are not built on laughter alone. They are built on honesty, humility, and the courage to finally speak. And sometimes the most powerful ending is simply telling the truth at last.